Hi, my name is Tracy Ventura, and I am the owner and founder of Spirits Uniting Reiki and Hypnosis Studio in Manassas, Virginia. You can find me online at www.spirits-uniting.com. I want to talk really briefly as I can, about something called QHHT, which is Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer up here that I have nothing planned of what I'm going to say. I have no pre-printed script or anything like that, so I'm going to try not to jump around too much and try to make this as brief as I possibly can. But QHHT hypnosis is a type of hypnosis that was developed by the late Dolores Cannon, author, speaker, teacher, hypnotist. I think she did it for around 30 or 35 years. And while I incorporate a lot of what I learned from Dolores Cannon's teaching, I also do a lot of other things inside of my quantum healing hypnosis techniques. I do something called theta healing, which is a lot of changing of belief systems. So for example, someone believes I'll give an example from a client. She believed she was fundamentally flawed. So it's working while you're under hypnosis. So I'm fully in contact and dealing with the subconscious mind instead of the conscious mind, which Dolores Cannon calls Mr. Stupid Head anyway. So we're dealing with where real change can actually occur in the subconscious mind. So it's pulling that belief out of your subconscious mind, sending it to Creator, and instead having Creator download the belief in you that you are a manifestation of God's love and light, that you are divine, that you are perfect, that you are loved, that you are fully accepted. All these positive beliefs to replace and, like I said, pull out the negative ones. And I do that using theta healing while the person is under hypnosis. So let me just go back and talk briefly about what happens in a QHHT session. So first of all, we do an intake. Now this can be online on Skype or Zoom, or it can be in person here in my studio in Manassas, which you can see a little bit of it behind me. So we do an intake. It takes anywhere between 1 and 2 hours. Depends on how chatty we get, how much catching up we need to do, because we've more than likely known each other in other lives, and it feels like catching up and getting to know each other once again. And in that session, I learn all about you. So if you imagine your life as being a stage, who are the actors on that stage of your life? You know, mom, dad, best friend, spouse, significant other, children, all the major relationships now and in the past in this life. And then I want to know anything that's happened to you of significance. So maybe traumatic events, adoptions, births, marriages, divorces, deaths, all those kinds of things. And then we come up with a really comprehensive list of questions of things that you as the client are curious about. What is my life purpose? What did I plan to do when I came down here? What kind of healing do I need to have take place in me emotionally, physically, mentally? And what's the best way for me to go about doing that? You might ask questions, what is my relationship with my mom? What did I want to learn as a result of choosing the mom that I did? Because when you're up in the spirit and you're planning this life down here, you're having conversations with these different people that are the main players in your life, and you're discussing those particular lessons that both of you came down here to learn. And so it's just kind of like a remembrance, I guess I would say, of those. And then we will look at questions about the body. So one of my favorite ones to ask about the body is, can you do a body scan on this person and tell them if there's anything going on with their body that they aren't currently aware of? And if they find any issues, when I say they, I mean the subconscious of the person, finds any issues, I ask it to be healed right then and there, if it can be healed. Sometimes I'll be told, well, we're not going to do it, but you, Tracy, you can do it by doing theta healing on this person. So then I do it. Or the subconscious will just go right then and there and heal it. Or they'll tell them, well, no, they're not quite done with the learning experience of this, whatever condition or whatever it is, but here's steps they can take to heal themselves. So one woman, it was, she needs to get more oxygen in her body. So her subconscious went out and listed all these different ways for her to get more oxygen into her body. I mean, getting more plants in her house, stop using chemicals that are not natural. I mean, all kinds of different things. So they gave her a laundry list of things to do. Or we can ask questions about what kind of vitamins, herbs, minerals, supplements could this person take to improve the health of their body. So lots of questions like that. And then we'll also ask questions like, from their past or previous lives, what are some maybe leftover lessons that they didn't quite get in those lives that they're still wanting to work on in this lifetime? Or, yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. I have too many things going on in my head right now of what I'm trying to think of. So let me just give you a few examples of some things that have happened in some of my QHHT sessions. And let me just tell you, not all of these sessions happen and are explained to you as lives on Earth. So sometimes we learn about lives that you've had, that your soul has had on other planets. I'll give you a really fun example. So, and she's become a friend of mine now. She lived on a planet, I can't even remember the name of it, but it was something I'd never heard of before. And she was shaped like an avocado, and she was purple, and she had long, flowing purple hair. And my question was, so why are you purple? And the answer was, I like purple. Okay. And then I asked if her husband was there. Oh yeah, he's here. Does he look like you? Yeah, he looks like me. And is he purple too? No, he's red. He likes red. Okay. And so, and I'll just take a really quick step back because I forgot to mention this part. In QHHT, we look at a couple of, after I put you under, we look at a couple of other lives. So it can be a future life that you want to look at, or it can be some past lives that you've had. So whatever you're interested in at that time, your higher self, your spirit will show you lives that are relevant to the one you're living now. So it might be an issue that you were working on then, that you're maybe still working on now, and it's kind of linking the two lives to show you how it affected you in the other life and how it's still affecting you in this life. It's usually very relevant to this lifetime. And then I asked to speak to the person's subconscious. That could be their higher self. Sometimes I've actually been speaking to the person's guides, spirit guides. Sometimes I've been speaking to a law, so like the law of truth, the law of wisdom, the law of knowledge, a different law. So it just kind of depends who comes through, and you're basically, we're setting aside the conscious mind and we're talking to the subconscious mind or your higher self or your guides, like I said, where all the real change that you want to have in your life can occur. And that's the part that holds all of the memories from other lives that you've had. Your conscious mind doesn't hold any of that. That's just the life and the memory on this lifetime, but it's not from all these other lives. So we're really getting in touch with the part of you that knows everything about you. So we can ask for healings. I had a guy get healed of a heart problem. So I said, is there anything going on with him that he doesn't know about? Yeah, his heart. And I said, well, how about if you heal it then? Because they were telling him that he needed to go to a doctor. When I say they, again, it's the subconscious. And I said, how about if you just heal it? Okay, I can do that. So when he got up from the massage table where I put people when they're under hypnosis, he was describing to me how he literally saw and felt a light on the bottom left side of his heart and felt the heat from where they were repairing his heart. He was completely blown away by it. I mean, completely blown away by it. Have had people get healed of a woman, her ovaries, so that she could get pregnant. Another girl, high blood pressure. Didn't know she had high blood pressure. She got healed of high blood pressure. So just different things, given recipes for different vitamins, minerals, supplements to take that would improve their health. I'm drinking dandelion tea for the reduction in inflammation. I didn't even know anything about dandelion tea until I did that. So, and I've also had experiences where I have released people from attachments. So that could be a wayward, which is someone who was in a physical body and didn't go to the light. Because when those souls come back and attach themselves to you while you're living, they bring their same problems that they had when they were alive. So it could be depression, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, sexual abuse. I mean, it could be any number of things that when they attach themselves to you, that kind of becomes part of your new personality, depending on how strong their influence is on you. And then also dark energies, dark entities, demons, in other words, gotten rid of those, help people completely transform their lives by doing that. I mean, it's amazing and incredible to see that happen. It's basically, so when people describe it to me, they say, wow, I feel like I just got a cheat sheet on my life. I just got the answer key. So really what it is like I said, when you're in the spirit planning this life, you're planning, I want to go down to earth. I want to learn this. I want to learn this. I want to experience this. I'm going to be with this person and this is going to happen. Now, like they say, the best laid plans don't always happen. Everyone has free will. So they don't always happen exactly the way you planned them, just like anything on this life doesn't always happen exactly the way you planned it. But for the most part, the major lessons are there and the things you wanted to learn. And it's basically a way of your subconscious being able to be channeled through you. The words come out your mouth while you're under hypnosis. And like I said, a remembrance of the things you wanted to learn, the lessons you wanted to learn, the things you wanted to do in this lifetime, and why. I think that's one of the most important things, is the why, because we in our conscious minds always try to make sense out of everything. Why did this happen to me? I don't understand this. But once you get these answers, you see things from a completely different perspective. And you're like, oh, wow, I planned that. That's very interesting. I never would have thought about it from that perspective at all. So I had a gentleman in here recently who, according to his words, he was screwed over in a business deal by a friend of his in this lifetime. And when we went back and we looked at the conversation that he and this guy had before they came down here when they were planning this life, we went back and we listened in on that conversation. And in the previous life, my client had screwed over this other guy in multiple different ways. And so they were up there going, yeah, let's go back again. Let's go back it again. Only this time you get to screw me because it's fair. That was the thing they were wanting to work on, is experiencing kind of the whole circle of, I don't necessarily want to say equality because I used that word and I was corrected by him under hypnosis. And he said, no, because it's fair. He wanted to experience both sides of it. I guess you want to say the perpetrator and the victim of that whole scenario. So it was fair. And they had talked about that. And so it just lifted a huge burden from him that he'd had for a number of years of feeling betrayed by this friend of his, when he realized, oh, there's more to this than I thought. It was actually planned. It was something that they wanted to do and experience so they could both experience the opposite. One was the one who was screwed in the last lifetime, and this one wanted to be screwed in this lifetime on this business deal. So it really helps answer a lot of questions that you just can't seem to make sense of, that don't make sense. You know, why was this person abusive to me? Why did this person treat me this way? There's usually a lot more to it than you realize. And so it's really refreshing, and I'll use this word, liberating, incredibly liberating to find the answers to all these questions that you have about your life. So I invite you to try QHHT hypnosis. My website again is in case I didn't give it before, is www.spirits-uniting.com. And again, the name of my practice is Spirits Uniting, Reiki, and Hypnosis. And again, that's www.spirits-uniting.com. Check it out. Check out Dolores Cannon's work. She has many, many books where she goes into great detail talking about hundreds of her hypnosis cases and the things that were learned and discovered from people under hypnosis. And I invite you to try it out for yourself. It really can help you in many, many ways and give you direction in your life that you just didn't have before. Thanks, everyone, and have an awesome day.